Joining us now on the line is Ramy, a protester who's been camping out in Liberation Square most nights. Now, I understand that it's very cold weather tonight, and yet you're still out there, you're still defiant, and you're determined to stay.
Yep, sure.
And can we hear music in the background? What's the atmosphere like?
Most of people now, they are either sleeping in their camps and tents, and the other groups, they are guarding the main entrance that are linked to Tahrir Square. People are using some defenses to protect the entrance and trying to make watching groups to walk around all the night to keep watching what's happening above the buildings and and behind the main entrance. There are also some legal groups composed of some lawyers trying to give advices to people on their legal rights as demonstrators. There are also some doctors and nurses moving around trying to provide medical aid and medications to people who are injured earlier from a few days ago, and trying to follow up on people who are already injured. Some other groups are providing food, water, cigarettes, blankets, different kind of stuff that people might need now.
And who are you protecting the entrances from? Are you still feeling the threats from pro-MUBARAK groups?
Today we did not receive any news that there is a pro-MUBARAK demonstration heading towards us, but still it is very hard to expect what's going to happen. So since what happened on Wednesday and Thursday, and at least 9 died among us, since that time, we never leave the entrance to Tahrir Square, and there is always kind of alerts among us that we should be always awake at each gate and be aware how are we protected, especially after the army didn't help us much as we expected.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the army because we've been getting reports today of it trying to squeeze you into a smaller area. What's been your reaction to that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, from around 4 hours or 4 hours and a half, the army tried to squeeze us inside to Tahrir Square and to decrease the space that we are using, because there is a very big the first square after Tahrir Square, its name is Abd Manam Riyad Square. We are also using it, and the army tanks tried to push us inside. Once the army tanks started to move, many of the demonstrators jumped over the army trucks and slept under the tanks itself to prevent them from moving. Then the army used some kind of fire defense to prevent us from passing, and then demonstrators took it away. So the army was not very successful to squeeze us inside, but since they did this, most of people are now sleeping either under the trucks or over the tanks itself.
So are you sensing a more hostile stance from the army?
Say it again, please.
Are you sensing a more hostile stance from the army?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It's still not clear yet because the last, it's from around few days before Wednesday, before the big attack that we faced, there was a pro-MUBARAK demonstration heading toward us, but the army prevented them from coming. So at that time we thought that the army is trying to help in providing protection to us. But the next day, when the big demo came pro-MUBARAK, they did not prevent them from coming. And during the attacks, most of the soldiers and the officers among us in Tahrir Square, they were just standing still and very neutral, and they did not do anything either to us or to pro.
Ramy, I'm just going to jump in because I just want to get one more question in before we leave you. I just want to get your reaction to the meeting today between members of the opposition and the Vice President.
Actually, none of us are satisfied, at least among my friends, because we actually don't know whom are these people who are speaking on our behalf. They did not come to Tahrir Square, and they did not speak to us, and we did not delegate or choose anyone to represent us to speak with Omar SULEIMAN. So we really don't know whom are these people who are speaking on our behalf.
Okay, Ramy, thanks very much for updating us on events there in Liberation Square, downtown Cairo.